And we're back with another episode, and joining me today, Peter Perez. How's it going?
How's it going? Everything's good.
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. For starters, those watching who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
My name is Peter Perez. I'm a country singer from Toronto, Ontario, and I've been doing music pretty much my whole life. I guess you can say like my mom's side of the family is like very musical. My cousin like is a music teacher, and like I've had music all over my life. I'm pretty sure I came out of the womb singing a song, probably. So yeah, it's just been one of those things that's always been like on my corner, and it's just something that I've always gravitated towards. So
Love
yeah.
it. Love it. And okay, with that being said, I read something back in the day. You knew like music was a thing because you were like memorizing songs from like, what were the shows? Arthur and Franklin, I think.
Arthur and Franklin were
All
the
right.
top two. I can tell you that right now. Yeah. Yeah, those two shows, like the theme songs, for some reason, I like would just memorize them and I would always sing them. And my mom would just be like so amazed that I can just like, I don't even know how old I was, probably like 5 or 6. And I'm just like singing back the theme song. And my mom's just like, oh, okay, that's cool.
That's awesome, man. When I read that, I was like, man, I totally remember those shows. Like it brought back the memories, man.
So many back then. And it's just like the shows they have now, it's nothing compared to what we got as kids.
I agree. I know there's some stuff out there. I'm like, what is this? Like they make this stuff now? Like it's so that's no, that was great. I was like, I definitely have to bring that up because it brought back some good memories.
Yeah.
So you weren't always a musician though. You fell
No.
in love with being a musician, doing photography and videography. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I started getting into music. Like I was in choir in elementary school. So like I kind of did it, and like my parents like kind of tried like getting me involved with it a little bit. But like as I got older, it just was one of those things that just like kind of like drifted away in a
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
And in high school, I got into like media stuff, like doing a lot of like graphic design and media arts type of stuff. And then through that, I decided to take it in college, and I took a media arts course in college. And then from there, learned how to do graphic design and video editing. So like that's kind of what I got into before I decided to pursue music again.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of got me back into it, I took a songwriting course in college. So like doing that course kind of like got me kind of back into like loving music again. And then like I was an intern for this company that like interviewed artists like what you're doing right now. And I was like the videographer, and like I did the photography for like concerts and stuff. And just seeing that all, I'm like, if they could do that, I could do that too, probably. So I just got back into music, like just slowly through that.
Just like that, you're like, I want to be on the other side of this camera.
Yeah, it was a lot to get used to because I'm normally the one behind the scenes, not in front of the scenes. But it's like one of those things that you just get used to it along the way, I guess.
It's funny you say that because I just did like a nominee announcement for like the Alberta Country Music Awards here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm the same way, man. And I know I do these interviews, but it's different, right? Like if you have a camera in front of me, I'm kind of like, oh hey, like what's up? I get nervous, and I'm trying to get better at that myself. So
Even like music videos, like I'm normally the one doing like the behind the scenes shooting. I'm not the one doing the video, which is interesting. But like it's just fun for me now that I'm like kind of like on the other side. It's just like okay.
yep, absolutely. I'm the guy behind the camera that likes to talk. I can do videos like that, no problem. I can talk freely, but as soon as you turn it around on me, I'm like, I'm shy. I'm like, prim and proper.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. So, for someone who hasn't heard your music before, how would you describe your sound to them?
Uh, to be honest, I recently switched back to like the sound I'm doing now. Like when I first started, like got into country music, I used to be a pop singer before I did
Okay.
country. So like from that, like I started listening to artists like in country. Brett Young was a big one. and I listened to Hunter Haynes, and then I got into Jordan Davis, and like listening to them, like I always felt that pop music was like there was something missing when I did pop music.
Yeah.
And then like I like heard Brett Young and like the one song, the In Case You Didn't Know, that song, I'm like, damn, the lyrics are like really good. And I'm like, this is like the kind of stuff that I like to write about. And like listening to the rest of his songs on his album, I'm like it's stuff that I like. And I'm like, this is country music. I want to try it. And then I just decided to do country. So yeah, I guess you can say Brett Young, Jordan Davis, and Hunter Haynes are like big inspirations on that.
Okay, very cool.
My sound is very similar to them. Like if you can ask anyone, like my sound is like them three combined into one.
Yeah, love it, love it. And so obviously these artists inspire you. Are there other artists that inspire you as well?
Luke Combs is another one.
Okay.
I took a bit of a track where I tried doing like the Luke Combs kind of sound, and I'm like, it just didn't suit my voice, and I'm like, okay, I guess I take it back to the roots when I started doing country, more on the pop side, but like lyric wise, Luke Combs is a big one. Shania Twain, I grew up with listening to Shania Twain, so that was another one.
Okay, perfect. And so lyric wise, would you say Luke Combs is your, someone that inspires you just for songwriting? And then you have someone specific for performing?
Uh, Specific for performing, I would say Brett Young and Jordan Davis, like they're pretty much similar to like how I would perform a show. But
Okay.
like for songwriting, Nicole Archer was a big one. She writes a lot of songs for Brett Young. I think I got her name right. Pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
I actually had the pleasure of meeting her in Nashville last August when I was there for the first time.
Oh, very cool.
Like, I went to the listening room. She was performing there, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I'm gonna talk to you." So we spent a bit of time talking and just like talking about music. She was like expressing on like how she made it to where she is today, and like how like her goal was to like write for female country singers, but for some reason it just directed into writing for males instead.
Interesting.
And Brett Young is like one of like the ones that she writes for the most. And like she wrote one of my favorite songs from him, which is Sleep Without You. Yeah, Sleep Without You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. What would you say has been the best advice that you've been given that you still follow till today?
That's a good question. I like my vocal coach, Laura Cavasisi, she was like my big mentor when I started like getting back into music.
Uh,
So she taught me for almost 6 years. And like the one advice that she always told me was just to stay true to yourself and never change who you are and just show who you are and always be as humble as you can be and always be open to meeting new people and just showing your craft and never be afraid to show who you are. So
Awesome.
that's what I've been following and just following and doing me.
I love it, man. Yeah, there are some people that get in this industry and they change like 100%.
Yeah.
So
And it's
and
not something that I would want to do because I'm doing this because I love it, right? And a
that's
big part of it is because you want to show who you are as well, right?
that's right. I find it goes a long way. Like I love meeting artists. How they look online is how they are in person. I love meeting artists that are like that because yeah, you come across some artists who seem great online and then you meet them in person and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that kind of thing. So it happens. But yeah, that's some great advice. I love that.
Also, I just remember that her name was Kelly Archer, not Nicole Archer.
Nicole Kelly Archer. All right.
Fun. Okay.
I'm gonna tag her in this now. No, I'm just kidding.
Just cut that bit out. It's all good.
Well, let's talk about your music now, man. Let's you just have the single released the first time. Tell us about it and how it all
Yeah.
came together.
So the first time was actually the one of the last songs. So I'm currently working on my EP that's going to be released later this year. And when we were like picking songs, like we were missing that last song. And the first time was actually written like probably a day or two before we were like picking the final song. And that one just for some reason made the cut. We're like, yeah, that's the song that we're gonna put it on the record, which is great because like I wrote it with Rich Cloak and Elias James,
Yeah.
and like I went into the room and the first thing I said it was I want a song similar to In Case You Didn't Know, but like my own version, I guess you can say. And they're like, okay. And then from there, we just like started talking about like what that would be like. And then the first time just came to be to what it is
Awesome.
now. Yeah.
Awesome. Where do you I mean, I know you guys kind of came up with the idea, but where do you find most of your inspiration when writing?
I just take it from past experiences. Like I'm currently not in a relationship, but I've been in them before, and I've experienced like the love that's like shown in the song. So we just took experiences from my experience and like their experiences as well. Like we just combine them into one. Like what the like the feeling of being in love would like look like in a song.
Right. Okay, fair enough. And
Yeah,
then this song's available on all platforms.
yeah. It's out now on all streaming platforms.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
Music video. Do we have plans for that?
Not for this song yet. There
Okay,
is a video coming for my next single that's going to be coming out in March. It's also the next single that's going to be going to radio.
perfect.
And it's going to be the continuation from my soul video.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a for anyone that hasn't watched the video, there's a cliffhanger at the end of my soul video. And it's just gonna like go straight into the next song and like the idea. And it's kind of gonna unveil the whole idea with the EP as well. Don't want to give it away yet, but once that comes out, it's kind of gonna be like the point of like explaining what my idea was behind this whole process of the EP.
That's very cool. I like that idea. Very
Yeah.
Um, do you do so you do a lot of co-writing as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I this whole like the past few months has just been writing almost every day with different
Yes.
people. Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite thing about it?
I just like just the creativity from it and just how you can express like different ideas and like how like when you tell it to someone else that you're writing with, they just tell you like they like interpret it in their own way and it just ends up being like a song from like two different perspectives sometimes and it's just I just find it fun. And then also like those like times when you're writing with someone new and you like spent like 2 hours just getting to know each other before you actually get into the writing the song,
Yeah.
which happens a lot, but it's the way to make friendships, right?
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, you guys probably just feed off each other and it all
Yeah, and it helps with the right too, because like the more connected you are as like friends and writers, the more like better you get writing the song, right?
for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Do we I don't know what it's like with restrictions out where you are. Is you're in Toronto, right? Is that right?
Yeah, they finally lifted them today.
Okay,
Well,
today. Okay.
sort of. We're 50% capacity, but we're allowed to go back into bars and stuff again.
Interesting. I was
Yeah,
like, we're kind of the same over here, but I'm just like, Ontario's been like kind
yeah.
of almost the same, but Ontario's been a little bit worse than us.
Yeah, they locked us down at the beginning of January, and like they just reopened. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's been very wishy washy. Like we just don't know what the government's gonna say next
Right.
or decide next. So I'm just going and rolling with the punches. I guess it's whatever they throw at us is what they throw at us.
Hey, that's all we can do, right? That's
Yeah.
it. With that being said, do you have any shows lined up people can look forward to?
I do have one coming. I have a live stream coming up on February 10th with Dave Woods.
Okay, cool.
And then we're finally going back to the Moonshine. So I'm going to be performing there on Sunday, the 27th.
Okay.
Well, that's all I've got right now. I'm like trying to, it's just right now it's so tough because like Toronto is just slowly starting to open up again. So like now those like opportunities are slowly starting to come out. But like, yeah, when any shows that do come about will be posted on social media and on my website as well. So
Love it. Do you ever go like live on Instagram or anything like that?
sometimes like I haven't done it a lot. Like I don't play an instrument, so like I always need like a guitarist behind me. So like it's
Okay.
tough to do live streaming when you don't really play an instrument. I mean, I could use an instrumental track, but it's never the same feeling as getting an actual like
Right.
instrument next to you. So, but I've done them a few. Like last year during the pandemic, like there was I entered this competition called The Shot, and
Okay.
like artists that we met there, like we did a whole bunch of like live shows just to like occupy the time of being stuck in quarantine.
Right.
So like we just did a bunch of fun shows and like we used instrumentals, a lot of us, and like it was fun, but like for myself, not really. I
Yeah.
do want to try it, but like it's just one of those things that I'm like not so used to.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn an instrument?
I'm trying to learn guitar.
Okay, yeah.
I can put the quotations on trying because like I during the beginning of the pandemic, I got on it and I was doing it for about 2 months. But then once I started working on my current project,
Yeah.
it just kind of took up the time and it just wasn't coming. But it's slowly progressing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Hey man, I don't know a whole lot on the guitar, as you can see the one behind me, but it's like I know like four chords. And then like someone told me one time, they're like, hey man, four chords, all you need is a capo, and you can play tons of songs.
There's literally tutorials on YouTube like teaching you to play four chords, and those four chords would play like 100 songs.
It's crazy. I think like there's a couple I saw online like a couple of years ago, and there's like a lot of Taylor Swift songs are like almost the exact same. They're just switched up. Like it's that's all it is. And I'm like, hey, sweet.
Yeah.
So, hey man.
Yeah, even with like people, even with my songs, like there's some songs that sound like that have the same chords, but they're played differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, keep at it, man. I love it. I love guitar. I wish I knew how to play more myself, but it's only the four chords for this guy, you know.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, you got the release of your new single EP coming up. What else is next for you?
Uh I'm already starting to think of the next project. Like nothing's set in stone yet, but like I've been writing a ton, so I have like enough songs to put into towards the next project. So like that's kind of the idea.
Perfect.
Continue to record and like hopefully try to land more live stuff.
Yep.
Like I've only like I used to perform live like with my vocal coach and stuff when I started like working with her. But like as an artist as myself, like I'm still kind of getting like into the whole like performing live. So I
Right.
would like to get into it a little more just to get like that experience and also like build a fan base as well and like get like people to come out to my shows and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hey, man, I hope this helps you as well, man. Get your name out there and
Yeah.
we'll get some exposure going and hopefully it works out for you. It'd be great. Because the song sounds great, man. So
Thank you.
absolutely, man.
It's one of my like favorite ones that I have on the EP.
Yeah,
There's a few, but this one is definitely a big favorite of mine.
what makes it your favorite?
Just the structure of it. I know it's one of those songs that's just fun to sing and like just the lyrics itself. It's like not cheesy. It's a little, but it's not like enough to like make you want to throw up. But it's also at the same time like so good that it does make you want to throw up. So some people have told me, but I'm like, that's good, I guess.
Hey, man, you need some cheesiness every now and then.
You need a little bit, just a little bit.
You need a little bit. I even say that sometimes with the girls, like you need a little cheesiness in there because I think they love it just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
When you add it too much, that's when it starts becoming a little too much.
I agree. I agree. Cool, man. Last thing, tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
My handle is the same for everywhere. It's at Peter Perez Music, and it's Perez with an S.
Perfect.
And
You have a website?
Yep, it's the same thing, peterperezmusic.com.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go grab his newest single, The First Time. And Peter, man, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And yeah, let's stay in touch. And hopefully I can get out to Toronto sometime because I've never been. It sounds crazy, but I've never been.
You gotta come out.
That's the plan, man.
There's lots to see in Toronto. The music scene, the country music scene is not the biggest, but you do find it here and there. So
yeah, for sure. Hey, man, they've got the Ontario Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
There'll be some. I know there's some people, but
yeah, they have some stuff, but like in the city itself, like some bars do it, but like over the pandemic, a lot of them did close.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Fair enough.
but they're slowly starting to bring it back.
Yeah, that's fair. I hope
I'm,
we all can
I'm
get,
in the city, so I'll bring it back if I have to.
there you go, man. I'm hoping we all can get back to normal here soon.
Yeah.
So cool, man. All right. Well, stay in touch and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
You as well.
See ya.